Hello, my name is Catherine Randall. I am the Birmingham representative for Americans Against Factory Farming. As we enjoy all the wonderful food at the Birmingham Food Festival, I am here to bring to light some serious issues concerning farming methods in America. Did you know that more than 90% of the meat raised in the U.S. was raised on a factory farm? That means that 90% of the meat you're eating every day was raised on a factory farm. Factory farming is a highly mechanized system where large numbers of livestock are raised indoors in confinement. Local farming, in contrast, adheres to old-fashioned traditions where animals are allowed to graze in open fields filled with vegetation. Because local farming offers a more environmentally conscious and morally ethic meat product, consumers need to make the switch to only eating locally farmed meat in their day-to-day diets. But before we get into how you should make the switch, let's first examine why. Factory farms harm the environment. Next to every factory farm, you will find a lagoon, and according to Emily Kolb, author of Won't You Be My Neighbor, these lagoons often spill, resulting in lagoon-related diseases for those who live in close proximity to the farms. Air pollution is much larger scale. The meat industry contributes 20% of annual greenhouse emissions, and according to Catherine Fitzsimmons, the chief of the National Association for Clean Air, factory farms release harmful air pollutants such as ammonia and hydrogen sulfide. These will result in death, heart attacks, and the increased severity of asthma attacks. Next, local farms are a more humane option for raising meat. On a local farm, the animals are able to be outside for most of the day to exercise and to roam free. Their diet is mostly plant-based, which is the ideal diet for these animals. On a factory farm, the animals are confined. They are often in semi or total darkness. They have body parts cut off, such as their beaks or their tails, so that they are able to better fit in these confined spaces. According to Evelyn Pluhar, the author of Meat and Morality, their diet normally consists of cattle blood and brains. Animals being fed this are at great risk to have mad cow disease. When these animals are not being fed what they are meant to, they are at a greater risk to have digestive problems. So how are we going to respond to this? We must take a stand against factory farming methods by using practical ways to cut out all inhumanely farmed meat from our diets. The first place we will do this is at the supermarket. The best place to shop for humanely raised meat is at Whole Foods. Whole Foods sets basic standards which all of their meat in the store must meet. These standards include all cattle must spend 2/3 of its life in pasture, and all chickens must not have any physical alterations done to them. But many of their food goes past those basic standards. That is why Whole Foods is the best place for you to shop for humanely raised meat. But a lot of people do not want to give up the supermarkets that they are used to shopping at. And for them, I have several steps they can take. First, if they are shopping for a private label meat, for example, Publix brands, there are five labels they can look for: pasture-raised, free-range, humane certification, organic, and grass-fed. Some other labels for them to look for are Organic Prairie, Neiman Ranch, and Applegate. A label that you should avoid at all costs is Tyson. Tyson is often associated with animal abuse. The next thing we'll be talking about is eggs. The 4 most common types of eggs you will find at the supermarket are regular, which are unacceptable to buy, cage-free and free-range, which are acceptable, and certified organic, which is the superior choice. Now, obviously, there is a discrepancy in the prices of these eggs. And if you are worrying about the cost difference in these types of eggs, just ask yourself if $1 or $2 is worth it to have a humanely raised product versus an inhumanely raised product. Next, we'll be talking about eating out. I have listed 3 restaurants that are well known to have humanely raised meat. When you are looking for other restaurants that humanely raise their meat, you can call the restaurant, check the restaurant's website, or ask your server at the restaurant. If the restaurant does not offer humanely raised meat, you can either order a vegetarian dish or go to a different restaurant. There are several objections brought forth by those who are debating between switching to humanely raised meat. First, are humane meat products too expensive? Normally, it only costs $1 or $2 more to have a humane raised product over an inhumane raised product. And for me, that's worth it to pay the extra $1 or $2. But it is up to you to decide if that extra money is worth it. Next, does it take too much time and effort to make the switch? I acknowledge that it does take time to affiliate yourself with the right brands and restaurants to visit. But with time, you will reap great benefits, especially if you raise your children knowing the right brands for them to buy. It will bring such great benefits for you and your family. Today, I will not leave you empty-handed. You will all leave with a handout that outlines all the points we have talked about today, the first steps you can take to only eating humanely raised meat. Remember, if you do make the switch to humanely raised meat, you are investing in good health, a better environment for future generations, the fair treatment of animals, tasty eating. Make the switch to humanely raised meat today. Thank you so much for your time.